Good morning. My name's Nate, and this is Heavy Pedal Garage, the channel where we're restoring this old 1975 Firebird. Got big plans for the channel. I know we're not even close to finishing this off. Paint's a huge milestone. Still have to do interior. I've got vintage air coming. You're going to want to check out the rims and tires I put on this thing too. I'm super excited. But big plans for the future. Just wanted to let you guys know a little sneak peek. I've got a 1989 Blazer we're probably going to be working on, and also maybe a 1972 Chevelle after the Blazer. So I say all of this because I think you guys might want to see that stuff. I know I'm excited to work on it, so stick around, hit the like button, help me out on that end of things, and go ahead and subscribe if you don't mind. Since the last video, I've got the hood wet sanded with 400 and then 600 grit. I've spent a lot of time cleaning up my garage, got everything power washed yesterday, got the floors cleaned up, the walls cleaned up, decluttered a bunch of stuff. I'm just getting ready for paint. I also spent some time up in the attic. If you need some background on my ventilation system, I've got a video called My Dirty Little Secret, and there's a second video to that as well where I show how I ventilate my garage when I paint and weld. Well, I improved that system yesterday as well. So up in the attic, I've got a house furnace, and I just use it for the squirrel cage. It's just pulling air up through these vents in the ceiling. But the air is evacuated through gable end vents on either side of the attic. So what I did was installed 2 box fans, one on each gable end, to pull the air out of the attic a little better and, you know, push it out of those gable end vents. So those come on when I flip the switch down here for that furnace blower. So that's pretty cool. Now eventually I do maybe want to cut a vent hole in the ceiling and put the proper vent shield on top with conduit or ductwork that goes up to that from that furnace so that it evacuates straight to outside. So another thing that I have to do here to get ready is change out the filter that's in that furnace. So this thing weighs about 5 pounds. It's insane. I should have changed it sooner, but I'm really impressed with how much debris this system is catching when I've been priming. So for today, what I think I need to do is I'm going to get this thing outside, just back it out since I've spent so much time cleaning my garage, and I'm going to go over this whole thing again. The idea here is that I'm going to check it over. I'm sure I'm going to have to break out the 600 wet and touch up some spots just to make sure they're good. I want to see it out in the sunlight. And then, along with all of that, I'm going to be cleaning the car after that's done. And then I have 800 grit Scotch-Brite. It's the gray. So we're going to go over the whole car with that. So get it scuffed really, really good. Make sure I didn't miss anything. And get it washed down and get ready for masking. So let's get started. Okay, so as I mentioned, I'm just going to go around this thing, clean it down, be looking for spots. I know I got to work my edges a little bit where I unmasked my jams. I've got a few little rough spots which I've already started working this over. Feels nice and smooth. And I'm just going to really look it over. Make sure I don't have any scratches that I didn't get to. Look for guide coat maybe. So we're just going to wet sand on this thing. While we're looking it over, we're just going to go piece by piece. So I got everything cleaned up with the 600 grit, went around, scotch brighted my spots, and right now I'm just giving it a good soapy bath, rinsing it down with the hose. Just want to get it really, really clean. And this will help rinse off any dust or dirt too. Of course I'll blow it off, but I'm also paying attention to the spots that I'm going to be masking, just to make sure that I've got a nice clean surface. Of course I'll wipe all those down with wax and grease remover as well. Make sure we got good sticky tape surface so that we don't have any blow through. See, like right in here, that's where the tape's going to go. I'm going to tape these wheel wells off. But yeah, check this out. Looks so good. Look at that. Pretty hard not to be excited about that, I think. So anyways, I'm just gonna keep washing this thing down. We'll rinse it off, and I'm gonna move it over here in the sun. And while I'm working on stuff in the garage, this thing can be drying a little bit. So here's what we got done last night / yesterday. We'll start at the back here. Got the back mast. It's masked all the way up underneath the trunk, all the way up through. This piece here is that little filler panel, and I wanted to be able to come in here and hit that as well. So play around with that. I guess one of the things that I like to do, or I'm gonna do, is like mock in my mind and even walk around the car and see where my spray pattern needs to be. Like that right there, when I just reached in, I realized it was gonna be too far. So we'll mess around with that, make sure that's in a good spot. Now the windows I left open because that steering column is getting hot rod black as well. So here this morning, today, I'm gonna paint the bumperettes on that thing and do the column. And then once all that's dry and, you know, tack free, no issues, I'll go ahead and finish the masking. But I wanted to be able to reach into that column. So I used my foam masking tape to get my soft edges. That's the white foam stuff. You know, it worked really good in all the jams except for this front, because that's hard to get to. You had to squeeze it in there, and just getting it to adhere to a good surface. You know, when you close the door, it kind of rolls the tape off of the surface you stuck it to. So this jam here is the only one that's been a pain. So I've been supplementing it with the blue tape. And you can see on this side, I came out this morning, and the whole piece right there has kind of fallen in. So we'll have to fix that up. But yeah, it's working really well. Got that done. And then under the hood here, you know, all that's masked, top and bottom. I got my hinges wrapped, so those are ready to go. Little deal I did here, I wanted to be able to get into these jams with this bumper, but I didn't want to have it off of the car and on a stand. So I just took these plates that I had, some scrap, and the original mounting hole is there. The bracket on the bumper is here. So I just drilled 9/16 bolt holes in this plate. So mounted here and here, and it extended out. And I've just got some 2x4 spacers down there to hold it on the bottom frame. So that'll hold that out for me while I'm spraying it so I can get those jams. And then the other kind of dilemma is this back bumper. I don't I put it on the car to paint it, because again, I've got to get in and get the jams on that done. So I think what I'm gonna do is flip it upright and clamp it to a stool that I have and get it over in the corner. I'm just paranoid about these pearls laying the right way. I want to spray this bumper in its mounted position, vertical, just because I want the pearls to line up right. I don't know if it's really gonna matter, but I read that it might. I don't know. So we'll mount that upright on a stand, and I think I'm gonna put it over there in the corner on a stool. This is gonna be a problem. So I've got my bug zapper hooked up. It's been running in here for a few days. And then I've also got some fly paper strips in the four corners of the garage, hoping to mitigate some of that. But yesterday was such a nice day. Everybody was out, including the bugs. It's late September, and you know, you get those really warm days after cold nights, which is what we've had. All the bugs have come out and they're trying to get in for the winter. So listen, I now have crickets in here. There was a swarm of gnats buzzing around outside. I could see them in the sunset, and I've seen them in here. I found moths in here this morning, and then I got a fly buzzing around. So we'll see how it turns out, but I know I'm gonna have some issues. But one of the things that I've got going on here is I got my little fly picker outers ready to go. So we'll see how that goes. I plan on nibbing in between color coats and clear coats a little bit if I can, but it is what it is. Spraying in a dirty garage here. We'll just deal with it. We always got the option to sand and buff on the clear when we're done. So continuing to get ready for paint here. I got my filtration system running, sealed off the attic access. I had a few little outlet boxes and stuff that air was blowing through. The attic's pressurized and blowing it down into here. I want it all to be evacuated out the gable end vents. So I got it all sealed up, but listen. Hear that? That's the incoming air leaking through the garage door. I open my side door, and the garage door actually puffs in. So what I'm gonna do now is take all these windows out, just screws around the frame of them, but I'm gonna replace these windows with furnace filtration, and that'll be my incoming air. Okay, so holy cow guys, I got just one window out and the breeze coming through here. Wish you could feel it. It's gonna be awesome, but look at that. Gotta love it, man. Get you an old furnace, set it up for your exhaust. Works great. So this is what I'm gonna use right here. Let's cut the fit, and then I'm just gonna take my window frame and make me some squares. Well, rectangles, right guys? I didn't even need to tape it in. I just used my frame as a template and cut it just the right size. And then the edges here have a little bit of bite to them where they cut out of the metal to make the window. So it just grabs onto that filter material nicely. Getting closer. I'm just gonna clean out the garage, blow it out one more time, and then wipe this bumper and steering column down. And the next step is gonna be to get the hot rod black on these pieces. Finished masking, skirt, wheel wells, windows, all set. Got that steering column in the hot rod black, and the bumperette is what I'm calling them. Those little deals there. That bumper strip's flat black. We'll see. It's got a little bit of bleed through right here from where I was sanding on it, but I can touch that up later. Oh yeah, in case you were wondering, I've got an appointment with Dexter later. I don't know if that's going to keep any dust off the car, but at least we'll keep the overspray off all my stuff. So it's been a pretty long day. I'm pretty wore out. Not a whole lot left to do. So what I'm going to do is just get some rest tonight. You know, try to get up in the morning and get a few more things done. I'm using the Spectrum PPS cup system with a Spectrum gun. So I got a little bit of work to do to get that loaded up and ready. And of course, tag off the car. So we're going to get some rest, and I'm going to leave this one here. So catch me next time, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'm looking forward to putting paint on this thing, and I'm happy to be taking you guys along for this ride. So we'll catch you next time.